Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I am your host, Escalante TV. Now, this video is just going to be like a nice little quickie video. I'm not going to be like really going in depth into this sort of film. So today I'm going to be talking about a nice little Christian propaganda film about the apocalypse. So I'm taking this class called The End Times, and I had to watch this nice little documentary called The Late Great Planet Earth, made in 1979. So first off, let's think of the year 1979, because it plays a crucial part to the structure of this movie. So pretty much, the U.S. and the Soviet Union are in a arms race. So this is like in the height of the Cold War, like right after Vietnam, but still like both sides are trying to improve their nuclear arsenals, and all these other nations are like in turmoil as it also mentions like the oil crisis, the gas crisis of the 70s. So pretty much the world is not in a good place right now. And pretty much what these these filmmakers decided to do was take the Book of Revelation. So the Book of Revelation was written by John of Patmos. Oh, he was one of Jesus' 12 disciples. And pretty much he lived out his life on the island of Patmos. And he saw, according to the Bible story, he saw like the seven trumpets. He heard the seven trumpets from the angels, and that these visions of the apocalypse would happen. All the mountains would rise up, the water turned the color of blood, and he saw this weird lady, and the moon turned red. He saw the Son of Man, all greasy up in the sun.
Cheese and bread will be the cornerstone of this utopian future.
They depicted him as like some weird hermit living on his island, like Luke Skywalker from The Last Jedi. And we were just talking about it in a class discussion. And it's so interesting how they exaggerated John of Patmos in this film. And they also exaggerated how these whole events were like going into like the end of the world, where they ended up showing like images of war. China, they're linking China as the kingdom of the East taking over the West, and so on and so forth. And they were also pointing into the Antichrist. Supposedly, like, the Antichrist will be some sort of charismatic character leader. He'll be all nice, but he'll be like he'll pretty much like do all this evil on the earth. And they were like pointing to images like Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, and they were using this whole like computer science methodology to pretty much find the number of the beast. So you guys know the number of the beast, 666, all that stuff. And yeah, I bet it was just it was just made by a bunch of Christians. I don't know too much about this movie. I don't really want to like go further into it. This is just going to be a quickie video about me talking about my experience watching this crazy film. And really they were pointing to all these images of the Antichrist war and pollution, famine, and they said this is going to be the last battlefield of where I guess Armageddon is going to happen. So it's apocalyptic discourse is pretty interesting from so many perspectives. So this class, the class I'm taking, I'm focusing like on like diverse perspectives. Like right now we just got done with like Christianity. Now we're going into the Quran, looking at Islamic texts. But it's really interesting. But they're pretty complex texts to sort of pick apart. And supposedly as the world ends, there'll be a new earth, there'll be a new heaven. Judgment Day will pretty much root out the evil in the earth. And I don't know, it really reminds me of the stuff that we're talking about the discourse that's going on right now with Iran and the US. People thought World War III was going to happen like right at the start of this year, but it didn't. Hopefully we don't end up actually using our nukes and destroying each other. And right around this time, right around 1979 and the early 80s, there was this film called When the Wind Blows. And I was talking about it to my professor, and she was like, oh, wow, This is like a crazy film. Like it's pretty much a like a very elderly British couple. They end up in their home all alone after missiles hit them from the USSR, and they're all alone. There's no services or anything. The whole world is destroyed. They just luckily survived because they built a 45-degree angle shelter, and they should have been dead. But they ended up figuring out this wasn't like World War II. The next war, if it's fought conventionally, it should be like less worse, I guess, if it's fought conventionally. But World War III is probably one that'll involve nukes, is what some people say. I hope not. I hope we don't go into war, because right now I'm in the age of getting drafted, and I'm in the selective service. So if we just so happen to go into the Third World War, well, I guess I'll be putting on combat boots and an M16 and going into the trenches of Iran someday. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. We don't go into war. And we also have the coronavirus. That's also pretty much killing about hundreds of people in China, and it's spreading across the world. So that's really, really concerning. So we got disease, and we got war, things of about apocalyptic discourse that's just floating around today. And it's just been the discussion is kind of similar, but really we've been seeing all these different situations, and people point to all these things sort of correlating into the prophecies of the Bible. So yeah, that's a lot to think about. We're not invincible, and we are not eternal. We are here for a good time, not a very long one. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really didn't want to go into this film too much, because this is just a quickie about apocalyptic discourse. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
For my ally is
Jesus Christ.